Hi everyone, Zoelle Rose coming to you live from southern Germany. Now, I have been in southern Germany for 7 years. However, I am actually a native New Yorker and very proud to be a native New Yorker. Also very glad that I don't live there any longer. But there are certain things about me that are quintessentially New York. And regardless of how long I've been away from New York City, they will never change. For example, I have a tendency to talk really fast. I drive really fast. And I drive like I'm in the middle of an obstacle course. That's it. I'm zipping in and out of traffic, weaving in and out. I've got to get where I'm going, and the streets are so crowded that you just have to figure out a way to drive through the eye of a needle. And every New York driver knows how to do this, right? When I'm walking down the street, I have a tendency to adopt the same kind of behavior. Now, in New York City, you have to walk down the street a certain way. You have to be determined. You have to look like you know where you're going. You have to walk at a very good pace. Because if you don't do all of those things, somebody is watching. And they're going to think, okay, let's mug that one. Now me also, I'm very, very short. So I have to walk twice as fast just to be considered walking at what for other people is a normal pace. So I got very used to walking very, very fast. You also, when you're small, you're kind of overwhelmed by everybody around you. They're towering over you. They have a much more substantial physical presence than you do. So you really kind of have to fight for your space. So again, you're kind of like weaving in and out of traffic to get where you're going. Just like driving. It's just pedestrians, but it's an obstacle course, getting through that pedestrian traffic. So however normal this might be in New York City, you go out of New York City into a small town where people are used to just kind of taking their time. They're walking down the street, maybe they're chatting with their friends, they're stopping, they're looking at their phones, but whatever it is, they're not worried about getting anywhere anytime soon. But me, I'm still zipping through that street, determined to get where I'm going. So you've got these people moving very slowly. And there's this little person who's all of a sudden zipping in and out, weaving in and out of traffic, of people, the pedestrian traffic in there. And people look at you like, what's wrong with her? She's a crazy person. Just let her go. Let her go. Go along. Let's go. And I have to say, if I were looking at myself from the outside the way they are, and I would see these normal people just having a lovely day, and then all of a sudden this tiny little creature comes zipping through there, weaving in and out, and I would think, it's right. Crazy person. Leave her alone. And it's a good idea to leave somebody like that alone, because they are going to get where they're going, and they don't want to be deterred from that. Now, there are another things that are really annoying when you're around very slow-moving people, and you're a fast-moving person yourself. So you get stuck behind a group of people, and there's no way to get around them because the sidewalk's simply not that big. That's it. They're close together. They're chatting it up. They don't even know you're there because you're too short anyway. So you just have to step back. That's it. You just have to slow down. And I look at this group of people ahead of me, and I think, oh my God, if you walked any slower, you could start going backwards. Maybe you'd even be able to turn back time. Just get where you're going. Another thing that happens is you'll find people going into a store, for example, and once they get through that door, they just stop. They want to look around. They want to figure out their plan of attack for the shopping. They completely forget that there are 10, 20 people also right behind them who would also like to get into the store. But no. That's it. They made it. That's enough. But there are things that are even more than annoying. They're actually treacherous. So, for example, you know those dog leashes that extend to make sure that the dog has enough freedom so it doesn't feel restricted and confined to go about its business. Well, you get the dog walker over here on one side of the sidewalk, and that long leash extending all the way across the sidewalk to the other side so that dog can explore the curb. And if you haven't seen that this leash is spanning the entire length of the sidewalk, you could literally just go right over it. But let's just say, for example, that you have been fortunate enough to see that it's there. So you come right up to this thing. The person who's holding the leash doesn't budge, doesn't make any move to adapt so that you can get through this thing. And you look at them and you say, excuse me, can you please just move just a little so that I can go through? And they're like, no, dog has right of way. Now, I have nothing against dogs. I'm a cat person. I do prefer cats. I think they have these beautiful little faces. And I like the fact that they're just a little bit more aloof than dogs are. Now, I like, little dogs, cuddly little dogs, puppies. They're so adorable, aren't they? I mean, how can you resist something like that? And I also love huskies. Now, huskies are fierce. They're wild looking. You can see an icy forest right in those blue eyes of theirs. They're stunning creatures. But for the most part, your average dog, not really overly impressed. And I sometimes wonder about the love affair that people have with those dogs. They are just kind of big and hairy and smelly, and they've got their snout stuck in your crotch. They've got their slobbering tongue all over you. I mean, really, they're just like a bad date. Cat person. But the most treacherous thing that you encounter when you're walking down the street, you're a pedestrian, is a very unexpected problem. These are women with baby carriages. Now, one would expect that when you're pushing along this precious cargo, that you would take extra care to make sure that it's safe, protected, that nothing can happen to it, right? No. They're gripping those carriage handles and they are barreling through traffic. If you're in their way, you better leap out of the way because they're not stopping. That's it. Okay, now, I personally do not have children, so I can't say firsthand what's going on inside their minds. The only thing that I can imagine is probably their hormones are going a little bit crazy. They probably haven't slept since the baby was born, right? So they're not really feeling in the best kind of mood. Maybe the baby just threw up on them. Who knows what's going on in their heads? Maybe it's just the fact that they have accomplished this extraordinary thing, this demanding, this painful, this event. And they feel after that somehow or another, wow, okay, I did it. I own the world. That's it. Out of my way. Mother coming through. Anyway, Zoelle Rose saying, thanks for watching. Bye. Until next time.